Scenario one is about a student that has been misbehaving, and even after calling home, moving seats, speaking, um, his behavior continues. Even after talking to him, his behavior continues to be disrespectful, and the teacher has removed him from the classroom. The principal, while in his office, uh, he was written up for throwing a notebook across the room. So he was in school suspension for the remainder of the day. The principal called the parents and notified them that he is in school suspension, and also that he will not be playing as the consequence in tonight's basketball game. So, as the scenario states, the parents rushed to the office demanding for the principal to change that decision. As a leader, I know and I've seen how complicated it is to please everybody or to work with students. I am a teacher and I've seen behavior. Consequences are very difficult to decide, but in this case, the principal has decided already to do suspension and not to play, that the student will not play in the basketball game. So, following that scenario, as a leader and as a principal, I would talk to the parents as they are coming in. I would say, let's come into my room, let's talk privately, have them calm down, explain the situation, and ask them, are you aware of this behavior? It has been evident that they have called home somebody, the teacher or the principal has already called home. They have applied other consequences in school, and he's still misbehaving, so he needs a bigger consequence. So explain that to the parents. Also, I would have in hand the student handbook, and I would reference the student code of conduct, which I grabbed from my district, Spearmanized the code of conduct, and I located the local policies online, which is FNG local, student rights and responsibilities, student and parent complaints. If they want to follow a complaint and grievances, I would have a copy of that as well for the parents to reference if they continue. But this is after the conference, if they continue to want a complaint. It also states that the parents threaten the principal to go to the school board, go to the superintendent, or sue the school or sue the principal for this situation. The first thing I would do is talk to the parents, talk to the students. So persons involved would be student, parents, and principal. We also need the teacher in this case, so I would bring the teacher in to talk about this behavior. If the parents already knew this was going on, how can we fix it? And he already has that consequence set. Have them calm down, explain it. If they do not understand, I would also read the student code of conduct, which states students shall not engage in actions or demonstrations that disrupts or interfere with school activities. So that meaning not throwing books around or notebooks around the classroom, that is disruptive. So he broke that rule. I would also give the parents to ask questions. I would give them some time to ask questions or wonder why this behavior happened. Just look deeper into this behavior. I would also give the student a chance to respond to these allegations, and let him know that these are the consequences, and now he has to follow through with the consequences, because we have this is not the first time, this is not his first rodeo. So If the parents persist in making a complaint and they're still not happy, then I would guide them into writing a complaint. They have to turn in a complaint in writing, and I would acknowledge them that to do so based on the information that I found on the policy online for Spearman ISD. I could hand them a copy. They can fill out and turn in. They can write it, or they can send a letter. Filing a complaint that they don't like the situation or they don't like the consequence. I decided to have a conference with the parents and students to try to resolve their concern, to calm them down, and to use at the lowest level. So just try to solve the problem with the principal. They were at level 10. They were angry because of the basketball game. So try to calm them down so they don't go to the superintendent, or we don't have to go through all that. And we try to solve the problem here. If they don't, we have to notify the superintendent within 3 days of school suspension. And we have to also notify the parents if this is the case. There was documentation was presented to parents from the teacher to show what we based our decisions. So in this case, he was throwing books, that we already changed seats, that we called home. So we need to have a parent log on hand so they can see we tried calling them. Either they answered or they didn't answer. And that we need documentation that we have already talked to this student on previous days. That way, and that's how we based our decision for him not to play on tonight's game.